coming from that lifestyle, you don't look for help. It was the most important thing for me to get out of that environment. You know, you meet people that see something in you, but I wouldn't have met those people if I didn't step to it.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Marvin Herbert's Nothing But The Truth podcast, hosted by myself, Christian Morgans. As always, we've got another fantastic guest. Today we're delighted to be joined by Dr. Mark Prince, OBE. Mark, thank you very much for taking the time to be here today.
Lovely.
Dr. Mark Prince.
My guy, man. Seriously, I've got mad love for Marvin. It's a mad pleasure to be here with him, man. Trust me.
But what a title, and congratulations for all the work you've been doing of late, Mark.
Yeah, for whatever weight titles hold, you know, in my world they don't really hold much weight, but at the end of the day, you've got to be able to utilise it and manoeuvre it, so I'm grateful for the titles, but really it's all about the person, isn't it?
Of course, well, like I said, it's only the person that actually gets the title. They don't give out OBEs for fun, do they, or willy-nilly, so you have to do something of some supreme service in order to
100%.
be due something like that, so congratulations.
Nice.
But I think it's important for the work you're doing these days to go back to your childhood, because at certain points you went off the path, didn't you?
Of course I
and
did.
got on a slightly troubled path.
Straight.
And so it's important to show people that you were actually in the positions that you're trying to stop people and engineer them out today.
Yeah.
So look at your childhood. You left home at 15 years old, didn't you, to go into the streets?
Yeah.
Like, what made you do that, and what's engineered that?
Just fear at home, fear. You know, I was driven by wanting to have peace and the fear. I didn't want to have this fear in my life, fear of how my dad's gonna kick off, fear of being hurt. Just fear, having a big, strong man that you look up to, that is just, you think he's unbeatable. You know, your dad used to grow up picking you up with his teeth. This is all of us. And I'm not talking about little babies. I'm talking about when we got older. You know, we're like 9, 10 years old. Dad's like doing his exercises, he's grabbing us with his teeth and lifting us up, telling us all stories about Guyana and all these guys. I don't know whether it was true or not, but just listening to stories of guys that he knew growing up that would be in fights and they'll be able to bite your hand if you go to jab them in the face. And it sounds mad as I'm repeating it, so it sounds like, you what? But I've got to repeat it because that's what he's told me from when I was little. And I've grown up, my dad, I hear stories of him chopping down trees in the forest with grown men. He's like 14 years old. And they're always picking on him and he's have to fight with them, and that was his life. So when you're growing up listening to your dad like that, and then he's done security, then he's been a fighter, and you know it's been tough. He's come over from another country, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. He's put up with a lot, he's gone through a lot. And he's trying to make a life for himself. So I could kind of understand the messed up mindset that he had. No excuses for my dad, but just it's about understanding people and what drives them and what affects them. And as I looked at my dad and see his background, I could kind of see how you can become like that and create that cycle in your life and not being able to break it. Because, you know, coming from that lifestyle, you don't look for help. You know, them days you don't look for counselling, in fact, you don't see it as a problem. You're the king of the castle, you're the man of the house, your wife does what you say, your kids do what you say. That's it. So, you know, it's about understanding where my dad's mind was growing up around that time, but I couldn't handle that. You know, growing up and being under that threat of being beaten viciously on a regular, seeing it with your brothers, growing up from a little child all the way to your teens, it was time to go. And when I hit 13, started running. You know, got found out, got brought back, run away another time after that, but eventually 15, I was like, yeah, boom, I'm going on 16 soon, I'm out of here. So that was the start of my journey of just being out on the streets. I got brought up well, weren't no bad man, I was able to fight, I could rock, and I had a mindset like I didn't give up who or what. I'm gonna take care of my business, you can't come in and tell me nothing to scare me, I'm gonna defend myself. So I was like, you know, I hear few talking about being a fighting man. Well, I was a fighting man because every answer to every problem was a fight for me. It was just me getting mad and fighting. So fighting was a way of life for me growing up, and I didn't want nobody else to make me scared like my dad made me scared. Nobody. So I weren't backing down from no fight, from no one. I didn't care if it was a big man.
It's crazy though, because that was the same sort of fuel that led me on to be that fearless criminal. Like, no one could frighten me. Like, my dad was the biggest thing in my life, and I sort of confronted my dad when I was 14, and then after that, I actually believed I was one of the most powerful men on the planet, just by overcoming that fear of my dad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That was what led me on. Because, you know, like you said, your dad was like, my dad was my God. Like, when I was growing up, when I spoke on James English before, I broke down when I spoke about my dad, because I spoke about him so much over the last few months. It hasn't numbed it, because I do get emotional about him, but overcoming that fear, looking back retrospectively now, I know that's what gave me the confidence. Because my dad was 6'4", 6'5", and he was a big lad, like all his Tom on, he had everything. And when I backed him up out my ass, I thought, wow, he shit himself, like, I'm the man.
Bro,
and that's what gave me my confidence.
That juiced you up,
yeah,
boy.
that's what gave me my confidence.
I could never. My dad, like, probably because just from a baby, just like, I remember one time when I was cutting some onions or something in the kitchen, he called me to do some stuff with him in the kitchen, and I got to that age, you know, when you start thinking about killing the person that is causing you all this. I don't know if you've had thoughts of that growing up, but if you had that fear, Marv, I know you would have, yeah? I know you would have. So, you know, I'm thinking about it, like, kill this guy, man. Like, it's just right, it's just. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got good reason to. So I'm thinking about it, cutting this thing, and then I'm peeping round, looking round at him while I'm thinking about it, and guess what, bruv? He's peeping round looking at me, bruv.
Making sure.
So that's when I knew, like, oh, this guy, he knows what time it is. Because why are you peeping around watching me with the knife, bro? Why are you doing that? Because you got to that stage where you're starting to think, my boys are getting big. I know the shit I've done. And they're going to be, now they're getting older, they're thinking about getting me back, and they're getting strong. Because I remember my dad, he kind of changed his tactics. The skipping rope, which was vicious, the skipping rope, you just heard the buckle and it put fear into. I was talking to my brother about it over the weekend, funny enough, and you just hear that buckle and you hear the steps and you start bricking it, bro. Like and you hear someone getting licks, your brother, your sister, them screaming, and my brother's talking about being at the kitchen sink, just shitting himself, hearing the steps, thinking, shit, I'm next. You don't even know what he's done, but he's next, yeah? And to have my dad getting older now and stepping to me like a man with his fist clenched and his hands are just big. He just had big bricks for hands, yeah? And just seeing him coming for you and just saying, you think so, bud? You think so, bud? Bro, mate, that still just, whoo. You just in a corner like this, no, daddy. And you don't want to be like that. When you're 13, 14, 15, like, bro, that breaks you as a youth. Because now you're starting to feel like a man. You got hairs in your nuts, your dick's getting some length on it, girls check for you, you know, you feel a bit like a man. And then the man that you look up to has got you like a little flipping cockroach in the corner, bruv. Like nothing, just a scared little baby. Just feeling like, these kids talk about looking and feeling moist, bruv. That is the worst, moistest feeling you could ever feel. Just like you got no chance. This guy's gonna kill you. You be getting beat sometimes, and shit be dropping. I remember the TV. Remember them TVs back then, Marv? Ain't no little nice flat screen, nice lightweight TV. We got the back of the TV was like massive and weighty. Do you know what I'm saying? And when that shit, you know,
amps and all that in it, didn't it? The amps used to come on and used to go, the orange amps is the way up.
Speakers and that alone, that shit drop on my head. That never. I thought, that'd be over. He'd stop. That carried on. So, you know, you have to understand what went on in my yard and what I saw in the yard and the fear I felt. Why it was the most important thing for me to get out of that environment. Yeah. I didn't know where I was going to go, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. That was a problem I will just deal with once I get to that bridge, I'll cross it.
Okay.
But I weren't trying to deal with this one. I'll deal with this new problem. How do I brush my teeth? Where do I eat? Where do I sleep? I'll deal with that shit. At least it's a problem that I'm in charge of, Marv. I'm not in charge of this. This shit's breaking my character. It's breaking me as a person. It's like deforming me. It's disabling me like emotionally, Marv.
Did you find you mimic parts of your dad though?
Easy, bruv.
Yeah.
Easy, because
I still see things in myself now. I think, right, that's
easy.
what my dad used to do. Or, fuck.
Yeah, easy.
That's like my dad. That
Easy.
So a lot of my reactions are like remind me of my dad,
Yeah.
and I have to pull myself back.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I go into self-destruct, I find myself going into self-destruct, and I sort of see myself acting like my dad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's when I thought, so, wow, this is what
We
my
kind
dad
of
used to
recycle their emotions,
Yeah.
and their character and personality.
do. Yeah.
And then you got to actually really be aware of what you're doing to clock it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Because that's the
Choosing
thing
it out.
about cycles. You don't even know you're actually in that cycle. It's mad. People don't realise that they're just like the person they don't want to be like.
Of course.
They're more like the person that they don't want to be like that they think.
Behaviour, you
Yeah,
don't
we
realise
that
it.
behaviour, bro.
You don't
Copy what you
realise
know, don't you?
Yeah.
So,
And it's like when you're dealing with, like, I didn't realise that me dealing with my life growing up, I was just replacing trauma with trauma, so I didn't have to deal with the trauma.
Yeah.
And that's why now I'm sort of slowly dealing with it over the years, and that's why I become emotional over certain aspects that I talk about when I do things. In certain environments, I sort of, you open up a little bit more because it's more like a therapeutic environment. And then, like when I've done my James English, he's like a psychologist, isn't it? So you sit there talking, and you get honest and real, and then you sort of takes you to places that you haven't been to in years, and it's like,
Talking's powerful, man.
yeah, but it's how you talk and who you talk with, which has the ability to grow with its strengths, you know.
Yeah, I think
that's why.
The power of questions, Marv. It's the power of questions. You know, what do you ask? You know, some of the questions you can ask, someone gets them to unravel themselves like an onion. You know, and I think we focus on the wrong questions. What's wrong with me?
Well, that's why moving forward,
Question to ask.
when we, I was going to ask, mimicked your dad, like mimic behaviour. Did a lot of the trauma you went through growing up help you in the ring? Like to help you with your boxing?
Helped me in loads of ways, Marv. It helped me in loads of ways.
Because I asked that question because I had to thank my dad on his deathbed, because I don't believe that without what I went through as a kid, I would have been able to deal with the life that I chose.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because people say, why don't you get depressed? Why don't you get sad? I just think, you know what? I went through it all when I was a kid, like, that can't hurt. Like, the things don't affect me
got you.
because I went without so much as a kid. I got abandoned so much and neglected so much as a kid that when it happened later in life, it was like, what? Don't worry about that. I'll just get on with it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
just
Like,
kept it moving.
Yeah, because when I reflect on it now, when you're sitting there and there's no food in the fridge, and like you get up in the morning, you open the fridge and there's no food.
Yeah.
You get ready for school, you go back to the fridge, you open it again, you're just hoping that there's going to be
Something's
something
gonna
in there.
change.
You know what I mean? And then you open the cupboard, think, there's got to be something. There's got to be something. When that happens day after day,
That's it.
you sort of get into the mode of, well, it's not there.
just
let me
keep
get
it
on with
moving.
So then you leave the house. On the way to school, you find other things to pick and other things to nick and other things to eat.
So, it's about pain. But pain became something I was acquainted with. It wasn't such a big deal for me, where people would be afraid of pain. I got to the point where my dad would say, "Who's first?" I'll go first. Brothers and sisters looking at me like this, what the? When they ask me like, how do you do that? The first person gets the worst. That's fresh. He's giving out the most and the hardest and the most vicious if you're first. No one wants to go first. And you're volunteering. But by then my mindset had been like, well, I'm going to get it anyway. So let me get it out the way. So I just get in there and just tear the arse off me then. tear my back off me then, my head, my arms, wherever. Just get on with it. And it came to a point where I wasn't even crying.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So I'd get worse beats because he's trying to get me to get the emotion that he wants to see from me, but he ain't seeing it.
That's happened with me as well. I refuse to cry. I refuse to cry from
That's our only defence, Marv. That's a defence mechanism. Like, okay, you got me, but I'm not gonna give you everything that you're looking for. I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna firm this. And your skin's getting tear off, but you're gonna firm it. And you go back and sit down. So if you're talking about what impacted me for my future, and you said you wouldn't be where you were today, I wouldn't be who I am today.
The trauma, yeah.
If I didn't go through what I went through. I'm not. I got to the point where I had to deal with my dad's stuff and come to terms with it and accept it and embrace my dad. And just not even look for forgiveness from my dad, but just embrace him and just, he's my dad. This is my life. Accept my life. Embrace my life. Because without that, I wouldn't be the fighter that I was.
Of course.
Bro, when I lost my one and only defeat against, pound for pound, one of the best fighters argumentatively in the world at the time, Darius Mikuchowski, bro, I was like this, come on then! Because I knew I was spent. I had nothing left, Marv. I gave everything. I didn't prepare well enough for the fight. I knew that. And when I went in, I rinsed myself. It was like a Canelo. I didn't get beat. I didn't get, thank God, I didn't get beaten the way I saw what Whitney Smith got beaten, even though he put on a great performance. I put on the best performance I could. But his experience, his skill was just on another level. In fact, I was watching that fight and I said I knew exactly how Smith was feeling. I knew what was going on in his head. I saw an interview of him today and he told the truth. I respect him so much. I never fear a fighter speak the truth like that. He spoke the truth. He talked about how he felt in the ring when Canelo hurt him, how he was feeling when he was trying to hit him, and the way he was just right there in front of him and it took his spirit out of him. All of that, bruv.
It's another level though, isn't it?
Yeah. And I went through that in the fight with Darius.
Yeah, because there's a lot of parallels, wasn't there, between the two of them?
That's correct.
Like, so you were only 18-0. Darius was 37-0 at the time, wasn't he?
That's
and
correct.
Canelo, similar sort of thing.
Yeah.
Even though the age was the same, Canelo had been processed 15, so he's had 50
Yeah, but
fights.
Smith had way more. I was a baby. I had 9 amateur fights, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? 9 amateur fights, turned pro. I was on some fast track thing. Because for me, it was like, I need to feed my kids, look after my kids, change my life around, and just have a whole different lifestyle and become a champion. And along that journey, that's all I wanted, was to achieve that goal. And obviously Darius put a stop to it, but the focus is the fact that the mindset when I was in the fight was like, I need to do everything I can. And when it was finished and I realised I got nothing left, I just went, come on then, bang. He took me out. I knew I was going to get taken out, but I wanted to even get taken out on my terms.
Yeah, but that's what got you where you are, and that's why we got to go back again to the mindset you had before boxing.
Yeah, that mindset was a bit.
So were there any sort of legal straight aspirations other than the boxing when you sort of left home? What were your dreams?
That's why I've just gone back. That's why I've just gone back. That's what for mindset.
That was messed
before
up.
Boxing.
The mindset before boxing was a mess. Because remember, I'm hurting. I've left home. I'm hurting you. I'm angry.
Angry, yeah.
So what the hurting people do? What the angry people do? They hurt people. If you're not hurting your own family, all these kids, all these things are calling, kids are hurting their mums, they're angry, yeah? They need help. I left home, I'm on the streets on my own, I'm angry. So when a brother's telling me, Prince, we got this move, you can earn how much how much bags to do this move, and then, everything's gonna be all right. You do this, there's an inside job, someone's coming in from work, bringing their stuff, take the money, boom, boom, boom. So you're just thinking, I need to take care of myself, I need some P. So you're just gonna do what you need to do. And, for me, everything about me was like, I got to do this for this reason. So that excuse of how you felt inside just led you to do what you needed to do. I didn't have no peace in me. I didn't have no calm. I just had vexedness, and it came out in the criminal acts that I did. I know that I was after money all the time. I was never that guy that was trying to just go out and hurt people. Because I remember we done this move one time and this guy must have been taking all his collections from his work and going home or going to the bank, I don't remember. And he was smart though. He must have took out a few bags and left about 10 bags in the car. Just checking to make sure that no one was following him. Because this is what we heard from the guy on the inside. And he fought back. But I wasn't looking to touch him. I wasn't looking to do nothing to him. All I wanted to do, like, brother, listen, give me the thing, let me go. But if you didn't, then I would do something. But if for me to just go in and want to hurt you like that for no reason, I wasn't really that guy.
So you was from Tottenham?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So how old are you? The same age as me, aren't you, Mark?
Yeah, 51.
I know, you're older than me then.
Yeah.
Right? So 2-3 years older than me.
Yeah.
So, the way you're talking, it sounds like the old wages on, Green Lanes and all round there.
Yep.
So everyone used to do the takings and the wages.
Yeah, that's
the Ridley Road Market and things like that.
Yeah, we had jobs up like Whitechapel and up west.
A lot of the fabric shops, wasn't it?
Yeah, and west.
A lot of the fabric and then the jewellers.
Yeah. And some of our moves was going to the bank, so we'd stake out the bank for a couple of days, watch his movements, and then just sit in the car. I just remember some mad days thinking, am I really doing this? That's insane. I've been staking out this joint for a couple of days, and I remember it was so hot. It was summer, it was boiling. And I'd just be sitting in the car baking off, like, where's this fucking guy, man? Like, watching, okay, that's the time he comes out. It was just bullshit. And I'm just thinking, am I really... Actually, it was like it was like I was outside of myself, looking in on myself, doing crazy stuff. I've been brought up to live right, love people, respect people, respect the fact that God's our creator. We got no right to, all this good stuff. But I'm living a complete different life now, bruv. Bunning zoots, then E's and acid tabs coming in on the scene, on the acid scene, and I'm on that. And then flipping coke comes in and man them are sniffing, so you're on that, and then stones come in and like then you're on that, you're piping, and it was just madness, bruv.
So was you from a religious? Was your home life pretty religious then? Yeah,
bro. Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah, as a youth, I was told that wow, you are a special youth. God is gonna use. These are the kind of things I'm hearing from the elders at church when I'm a kid. Wow, God's gonna use you. Heard the way you done that speech. Heard the way you done that talk. Heard the way you read that Bible text. Like they was like impressing me about my future. And the thing about it was, away from the church, I actually did have this very real connection with a very real God, Marv. That I was getting to know, that I was talking to when I walked down the road going to school, cussing about my dad, thinking about who I was going to become, having conversations with God, like as a kid.
I had the conversation with you earlier. Do you know what I mean?
Like real stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm not talking about religious stuff, I'm talking about real stuff where I felt like I'm talking to God, man, and like, He's gonna do something with me in my life. That was real. It just got screwed up.
What I said to a Christian earlier was this, yeah. I've been getting the same messages my whole entire life, but I read the information wrong.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So now I'm receiving the information that I've always received. So I've always known I'm meant to help people.
Big.
So I was helping people commit criminal activities, right? Mm-hmm. So I've done everything I could do to be the best criminal I could to help everybody. But what I wasn't realising is I wasn't meant to help them be criminals. I was meant to help them become the better human being than they were. And now I've sort of got that. I'm sort of seeing the value in myself as a human. Do you know what I'm saying?
Boom. Do you know what? You're right. I remember I had some of the youngers coming to check me, and they would always say, Prince, man, go to Prince. He's always, when I got older, I didn't know this at the time. It's when I got older, Marv, they'd say, Prince, we came to you, bruv. You just had this level of knowledge that would just break things down or encourage us or look out for us. So we came to you and we were shutting our goods and we done our little criminal acts. we come and bring you the food. We come and give you the links and tell you about this food that you can pick up for cheap and all whatever links I could get. The youths looked up to me. So I didn't even really know that until when I got older. I'd link up some of the man them and talk to them and say, Prince, they said, Prince, that's how we saw you, bruv, when we were coming up. You was a blessed guy. So even from them, when I thought I was all messed up, they saw me as someone that was blessed.
Sending the right message.
Yeah, I didn't see myself like that, but that's how they saw me. I didn't see that. So the goodness was there, as you said, but
doing the wrong thing.
we're just doing the wrong things in the wrong place. But we had to go through that, Marv.
Become who we are, yeah.
We had to go through that, bro. Now I look back and thought about a couple moves that I'd done. Do you know what I'm saying? Even like pistol whipping a brother one time, and like just looking back and thinking, bro, that was messed up.
So from the sounds of it, you were on a really troubled path as it was, Mark, at that time there. And what was it that inspired you to get into the boxing? Was there a brush with the law or anything like this? Or what was the change in you that made you...
Do you know what? It's weird because like Marvel definitely backed me on this, yeah? It's like you're in the mess of it. There's things that's happening to wake you up, to make you realise that what you're doing, like you need to kind of rethink what you're doing. But you don't pay it no mind. Like I got done in the bank on this 80 bags move where I was like, yes, I'm gone clear, bang, feds come in. I got frog march out of the bank, bruv. Looking at 2 years because it was white collar fraud, you know. So it looked like I weren't gonna get out. That was a definitely done deal. But one of the feds fell for my bullshit, and which was like, because they were trying to put this thing on it, like, tell us, you know, we know it's the Yardies putting you up to it. We know it's the Yardies. Just admit, let us know, and you know, we'll look after you. And I said, nah, because I had an excuse already ready. It was like that I'm getting fitted up, my youths are in danger, my baby mums, I can't say nothing. Yeah, but there's some man's involved in a bigger move. You can see that I'm just a little pawn in this. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So you know, but I can't tell you who it is. So they were like, nah, you know, tell her. So I played that little wimpy kid, you know, needing help and whatnot. And one of the feds was like, nah, he bought it hook, line and sinker and stood up for me in court and said, nah, you know, it's a good kid. Boom, boom, he's never been in trouble before. Because I hadn't, apart from GBH, which I thought that was bullshit anyway, because the guy, he was the one that started it. He took off his jacket to start on me. I was just first, that's all. In them days, I was doing karate, judo. My dad brought me up boxing. I'm like 16, 17 years old. Like, one kick to the head, mate, fight's over. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I know to do. I don't know nothing else. I know how to fight, bruv. So you can't come taking off your top, saying, well, who do you think you are, rare. Bruv, if you're not ready, if you're not fighting, man, you're done for, mate. So he got done. Next minute I see, he's pointing at me with a feds on the road, like, there he is. That's the guy, he just attacked me. So, like, I've never really been in trouble like that before. But if I had been, I would have shift, Marv. I would have gone, but I didn't. And I had a Bora on me as well. Damn. So it was mad because the way I styled it out, the feds was like, yeah, this guy's claimed that you've assaulted him, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, the way I styled it out, because in my head it was like, get rid of this Bora now. So I was like, what are we talking about? And I turned to my brethren down, was like, I styled out like D, rare, and all this time I'm putting my hand, I moved from his angle so he can't see the other side of me. And Darren's moved like, no, we talking about, no, you're talking bullshit, but we've passed the Bora over while he's on the blind side. And that's when I've kind of changed. So, all right, whatever, innit? Whatever. And then I just went, and then he arrested me, and then I went in the nick, and then in the end I got done for GBH. So even though I claim self-defense, he's a white guy claiming that a black guy attacked him and beat him up. So it don't matter what I say. Yeah, it don't matter what I say, bruv. I told the truth. Like it was a verbal thing, and my man backed it off and offered me out. So it's just that I done him, that's all. But he saw you and said that I done him over. So that's how I got done with my first offence. So, you know, being in court, having that 2 years looking at, and then they gave me 2 years probation, instead of a sentence. I came out of there and went straight back to college, bruv, to go and violate this. I must have been about 18, 19 at the time, something like that. I went to college and violated this big. He was a big man to me, Marv. He wasn't not only was a big man, he was about 6'5", okay, and he was a terrorist in Tottenham College, bruv. Like the youngers wouldn't really bother because he was one of them man. He had his strap. He was one of them man that going on like he's a bad man. Them times he was taking coke and all that, so he was more volatile, always on it. But he'd gone to my sister's yard and robbed my sister's yard. But like on a friend thing, like go round there, yeah, cool, go to check her. But my sister seen money getting missing. Every time you go, she's thinking, where's this money getting missing out of my yard? So she's like, I purposely put some money down to see who's taking my money. She said when he left and she checked, the money was gone. So I said, you sure? She's like, yes, bruv. It's like, all right, cool, done. Say nothing. After I finished the court case and I got free, went straight to college, just wait for him, watched him play this basketball game, badding up everyone. My heart was beating, Marv. Because let's not, like, enough of the mandems always fronting. Down, they're so hard and they're bad, man. Bruv, I'm telling you, I was shitting myself. I'm dealing with a guy, I don't know if I can beat you, bruv, but I'm not going to let you come in my sister's yard and thief money from my sister's yard. I'm going to bring it to you. So I've gone there, like, yo, bro, you gone to my sister's yard and thief money, bruv. What you talking about? That was, I just need you to know why I'm moving to you. After that, I'm not here to talk. I start swinging. The first swing misses, Marv. I know I'm shitting myself now. He's dodged the first slip. So I've come back with some mad combos, bro. When I tell you, I think it was so violent, the attack, that I get guys, man, from Tottenham that bump into me and still remind me of that, like, bruv, that was the mad, violent attack, you know, bro. There was blood everywhere, Marv. I smashed this guy. He tried to run out the common room. I smashed him into the door, bruv. The door broke off the hinge. Like this, one of the teachers was asking me, why did you use a knife? I said, what knife? I don't use knives. Even though I would carry it sometimes, but I never used a knife, never stabbed anyone. You know, thank God for that. I know we're not in the same boat there, Mark, but that's how it goes. But I just thank God that I never actually got to do that to anyone. But I hurt people, you know, and things I'm not proud of. But people like bloody my boy, he's dead now, God rest his soul. I think his badness just went before him and he was just trying to bad up people one too many times. And he caught up with him in the end.
It happens, man.
Yeah, and he
really
got killed.
does.
Of course. So, what was it that made you get in to take the boxing seriously then? At that point, the court case didn't make you change. The thing there didn't make you change. There must have been something in you that changed in order for you to think, right, I'm going to take this seriously and actually get into the boxing and have some discipline.
I looked at myself in the mirror.
So one day something clicked in you, think?
I looked at myself in the mirror, bro. I was like, I spent the night with some of my boys down Tottenham. We picked up some stones from the line and went back to my brethren's yard, lick off the stones all night. And it's weird because you know because I think Marv talked about this once as well. It's like you take stuff, but you never see yourself. I'm not an addict because nothing holds me. I don't like anything. That's why I never really went on. I didn't try any injections or nothing like that because I thought, nah. But everything else I would try, but nothing's gonna hold me. I saw people take stones like me and lick off the pipe, and next minute they were licking off the pipe all the time. Next minute you saw them 6 months later looking mash up, and their lives were finished begging. I see a man begging less than a year later. So I've seen that, but I weren't one of those guys that was on that where it held me and I had to have it. You know, I tried it with my man then, but I didn't have to have it. Oh yeah, I got to go back and lick her next stone, and I weren't on that. So that evening when I woke up, I had a conversation with myself. The conversation went like this. When you left home, bruv, you wanted to be someone. Your dad said you can't make it. That's what I heard. My dad said, you can't make it out there. And you said you are gonna do brilliant. You're gonna show everyone. And I said, are you showing everyone now? Is this how you're showing everyone? All right, you got Tanisa, you got Kyan, you're 21 years old. What have you accomplished? What have you achieved? What have you done? Apart from loving your 2 children, being with their mum, Tracy, providing for them, what are you doing? Because even the way you provide, you can't even tell them that. You're not being an example to the kids. You can't break nothing down and show your youths. You could talk some shit to them, but you can't keep it real because you're not real. You're fake, P. You're just talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. And I did not like myself after that conversation. So after I sat and was talking and thinking, I was like, okay, so how am I going to fix this then? Then I started thinking about what I could do. Right, if I go college, enough men are going college, I'm not even on that. I had to run away from my last college because what I'd done to my man, feds were coming. I never went back to Tottenham College again because my man them got me out the back. We heard the sirens, all of that, we escaped. And what was I gonna do? I weren't feeling that, so I was thinking a job. I could do a job, but I don't know, I just felt like, nah, I want a career, I want to do something. So I thought, I can fight. Man know me on the road to fight. Why can't I take that in the ring? And it's like when you share certain things with change, Marvin, I know that you've experienced this year. When you talk about changing and having a different mindset and doing something different, people want to throw stones at you, bruv. Whether they do it by going, all right, cool, or they do it by going, what are you talking about, bruv? Or they've got some reaction that doesn't fill you with hope. It kind of knocks you a little bit. Like, well, I thought you'd be pleased for me. I thought, you'd be supporting me. But you're not getting that support. You might have someone who's got you. Like, when I met Marv, I was so happy that Marv would be on this journey and decide to change. That's what you need. You want that. But in reality, it don't happen. Okay? Don't always happen. You got a lot of people that are looking the other way, and people look to me like, bro, you're a ganja baby, man. Like, really? Like, you bun green all day, bro. Idols and fat blunts as well. So, how you going to be going boxing? These men are boxing from their 10, bruv. You're 21. How you going to be doing boxing? And I just thought, I'm going to do this, because I have to make it work. That's when my change began, Marv. Because I made a decision in my head. I made up my mind. And when I make up my mind, Marv, here's the thing between two different kind of people on this planet. There's those that talk about it. There's those that want it. And there's those that back it. And there's those that do it. So there's men that want it, they talk about it, but they're not about it. They're not about it. But when I said I'm going to become a boxer, and I said I'm going to hold up a belt, I'm become a champion, I meant every word of it. Then I had to back what I meant by action. So that means I can't get up in the morning to go and do some inside job. I can't get up in the morning to shop nothing. I can't do none of that. I got to get up in the morning and run. What do fighters do? What do fighters do now? They got what? They can run at 5, 6 in the morning. Shit, I've got to run at 5, 6 in the morning. What do they do after that? They go to the gym. All right then, what gym? Where's the gyms around here? Where do I go? I end up going Tottenham Enterprise. Met Ernie Seacombe, Watson's trainer. He was like, wow, the way you move, the way you jab. You meet people that see something in you. But I wouldn't have met those people if I didn't step to it. I had loads of questions, Marv, and no answers. You only get answers when you step to it. You start moving forward. People talk about setting goals, they talk about achieving stuff. But they got all these questions, but you're going to get no answers, bruv. That's what people get this messed up thing, because they don't understand faith. It's said faith It's the things that you do when you don't even know and don't have the answer. You don't know the way forward.
Yeah.
You're walking without that light to show you, here's how it's going to work out. But your belief keeps you moving, brother. Yeah. And my belief that, you know what, I don't know who's going to train me. I don't know how I'm going to get a first fight. I don't know what's going to go on. But I'm going to do this.
I'm getting it.
I'm going to do this. And I stepped to it, Marv, man. And things just started to work out. I got Eric picking me up in the taxi in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, training with whole loads of other top pros, and you know you're gassed when you're, you know, getting picked up to go running with top pros up Hampstead where Frank Bruno and that's runs used to be. It's like, yeah, this is it, and you start feeling like the man. You ain't done nothing yet. You ain't nobody yet, but you start feeling like someone.
Who's your biggest inspiration as a boxer growing up?
I think I watched every fighter out there. Ali was obviously someone that I loved. His movement, his character, his flair. He just had so much going for him. I loved him. But I loved all the fighters for different reasons, Marv.
Yeah, I used to love
Do you know what I'm saying? I loved Marvin Hagler. Loved him. But then I loved Sugar Ray for things. And I loved Hitman Hearns. That long reach. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh my
For some reason, I thought Hearns was alright, but
I loved him.
Once he got
I was
in the
hurt
ring, Hagler done it.
when Sugar Ray done him in the 14th and they pulled him out the fight. I was
Hagler knocked him out as well, didn't he?
Hagler knocked him out in the first. But what an exciting fight!
So I've always loved Hagler, and he got robbed against Sugar Ray.
For me, it's not about the result; it's about the performance. How do you perform?
Right, how
do you perform?
I box like Marvin Hagler.
Yeah.
Just like come forward.
Just come forward, go for it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's what I loved about Marvin Hagler, man.
But that's what you loved about the fight game, Marv.
He stood to his word as well, didn't he? He said, the day I lose, I'll retire.
I hear you. And he's one fighter that never ever went back on that.
Yeah, because he got robbed, didn't he? That's why.
I don't even know if he did.
I did, man.
I felt like that. I was hurt. I was vexed. I was like, no, Hagler won.
You watched that fight, yeah.
I watched it again. I thought, maybe.
It was the strategy that Sugar Ray had.
Exactly. Shoe shined him.
The last 30 seconds of every round, he just
shoe shined him, bro.
That's all he done.
That's what the Germans do.
That's what it's called. Old school call it shoe shine, bro.
It's a clever way, isn't it?
You know what I mean? You just do a quick joke, and make it look good, bro.
Made it look good.
But Hagler done all the chasing, Hagler done all that, and then
Seek and destroy.
Yeah, and Sugar just made it look good.
Who was the hardest person you got in the ring with?
I think for me, the hardest person was me, Marv, and I know it's a weird answer to have, but it was. Every fight was a battle with myself. It was a battle with my fear of facing my fear. Of going in the ring and facing someone who trained to beat me, knowing that a swing of the hand. You watch loads of fights. You see guys, and you think that fight would have gone a completely different way if that punch connected. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like a fight can go anywhere.
Who's your best sparring partner?
Dennis Andres. Yeah. Dennis Andres.
Everyone knows their sparring partner.
He's such a vicious, tough guy. And you learn so much. Remember, he was WBC light heavyweight champion. He'd been beaten by Hitman Hearns. He went to the Kronk, to the guy's camp who beat the shit out of him in the fight, but he kept getting back up. And he went there and learned how to fight with them.
Right, here's another one. Who's the boxer that you sparred or boxed that you couldn't hit? There must have been one. It was either of my guys. I fucking hated it. I couldn't even hit him, mate.
Frustrating,
isn't it?
Who couldn't I hit?
I learned that. We weren't even a boxing match. So it was a kid in prison. Yeah. And I was trying to do it. I just couldn't hit him.
I don't remember actually being in a sparring match where I couldn't hit someone, but I remember being in sparring that I felt, what the frick, this guy is the shit. Yeah. James Cook, there you go. European champion, yeah? And I was just this young kid coming up, had a name, Prince turning pro, was amateur. How do you win the London finals in 8 fights? So it was about 5 fights at the time. Yeah. And that was like unheard of, yeah? And And so I've kind of had this little reputation of being a banger and stuff like that. And then I go into Henry Cooper's down Old Kent Road.
Thomas and Beckett.
Yeah, Thomas and Beckett. There you go. So I go in there, and then there's James and Brian and all the trainer and all these guys, and I do some work with James. But he's so well schooled and seasoned that these are the guys that really woke me up and helped me to understand the pro game. Being around these guys, training with them, watching them, sparring with them. And James was solid, bruv. Solid jab, bang, just nice.
Just
bruv.
different, innit?
Different,
Just
bruv. Just new as shit,
different,
man.
just
Do you know what I
different.
mean? And there was some kids as well that didn't make a name. Forgot this guy's name. He was a terror. He was a terror. And he didn't have a manager. If anyhow he had a good manager, if he had someone that would taking care of him, he would have terrorized the cruiserweight division. I forgot his name. I wish I could do him some honor right now and remember his name. Because I used to watch him on the bag and I used to think, what the freak are you doing, bruv? What are you doing, bruv? Where's your jab? Hook to the body, uppercut, right there. So where's your skills? Bro, when you got in that ring to spar with him, he would be all over you like Marvin and just bang, bang, bang. He would wear you the shit out. Every guy that sparred with him hated sparring with him.
I'm not hating.
I remember when he came out, I said, I thought you was a big puncher. I just was like, oh, forget this guy, man. Seriously. That wasn't my style. I didn't go into sparring to hurt people. Yeah. I was always schooling and learning my skills. I wasn't trying to prove myself. Yeah. But if you tried to have one on me, like Akawande did, I don't know if you remember Henry Akawande, WBO heavyweight champion. He's 6'7", but he was a bully. He used to like sparring with lighter guys, light heavyweight, super middles, cruisers, and he put it on them like he was in a real fight. And we went at it. I remember I went in the corner, Carly said to me, listen, this guy's trying to take you out. Go and get him. I had Akawande, the ropes, he's lucky the ropes were loose. I had him leaning back like this on the rope and I was like this on top of him, mate. After that sparring, that was it. Yeah. He didn't even talk to me after that. I remember Brian was training him. So Brian will back me. Brian will remember that, because that was some proper sparring. Because I just felt, you think you can have it with me? Let's do this. I don't care about your 6'7", your heavyweight, whatever, bruv. To me, you're just another guy. So I went in there and give it to him, mate.
That's it, as you do.
You know, innit?
I love sparring.
But talking about the success you had as a boxer, obviously you were a tough kid, you had talent, but talk to about the hard work and discipline that you had to put in order to have that success.
One thing I'm going to add to that, just before Mark gets going, right now, I got brought up, people that know me know, I got brought up, I was a street kid, fighting, stealing, robbing, stabbing, shooting, doing whatever you do to get by in that platform. And because I'd been fighting my whole life, I actually believed that I was as hard as they come and no one could. No, I did, I believed.
It's a belief.
There's no one's going to weigh me in. So I used to sit there watching the boxing on the telly, so I'd be like, there's shit, mate. I'd smash his face in. I'd smash his
shit.
I was boxing, I was going to the gym, and because I never had, because the trainers knew I wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
they never give me no time.
Yeah.
But I'd go to the boxing gyms and I'd get in and I'd say, are you like sparring today? Let me do some sparring.
Yeah.
So when they didn't know me, they'd go, yeah, you can do some sparring. So they'd put me in the ring with someone that they think's going to beat me up to teach me a lesson. And then they get weighed in, So I got banned from going to boxing clubs. I went, no sparring, no.
So you like this Harry Akin, the mate he said he went in there to beat people up in sparring.
I went there as an underdog. Yeah. Hear what I'm saying? I never went in there like I'm a bully. I went in there saying, can I do some sparring, mate? Yeah, they say, yeah, of course you can. Come in, son. Yeah, Billy, don't be sparring, boy. And they all have a little laugh and a joke. And I'll get in, I'll smash the mic like Billy. I mean, so me growing up, I used to always believe that boxers weren't all that, because any time I got in the ring and boxed boxers, I held my own. And even after I got shot, I had a fight, and then I trained with boxers, professional boxers. Liam Smith and Callum Smith, actually. I sparred with them after I got shot, Joe Selkirk, and many others. But they're the three that I'm proud of saying I shared the ring with them after my shooting, because even they said, "Fucking hell, I hate to see what you was like before." But the point I was going on to is that I actually believed, right, that I would have it with any pro.
It's a mindset.
Until MGM opened. MGM, Matthew Macklin was getting ready for. It was the Golovkin fight and the Martinez fight. So he was getting ready for these two fights. But we knew they were coming up, and he was in camp getting ready for which one was going to come first. I can't remember which one came first, but he was in camp getting ready for them, right? So we had the gym open, but only not to the public.
Closed gym.
Yeah, it was a closed gym. So he's coming, and obviously you think I can train. So I'm doing all the groundwork, doing all the physical training, and I'm getting to a point where I'm thinking, wow, that's 2 hours now. I'm fucked. And these lot are still going and going and going. I'm thinking,
how long do they train for?
No, mate, all day. Watch it, all day. Right, so you get up 5 o'clock in the morning, right? You get up 5 o'clock in the morning. You go for a 2.5 hour run. Right, you come back. You have a stretch. You have a warm down. Yeah, you have a little rub up. Yeah, and then you relax.
Yeah, you rest.
Then you have a little bit of breakfast. Yeah, then you're back in the gym, and then you're either in the gym doing 750
4 or 5 hours.
So either 750 reps. 1,000 reps or 1,500 reps, right? And that's exercises. And then you got to do some running, like sprints. Then you got to do some pad work. Do you know what I mean? And then you have a rest.
There's loads of different.
Then you have a rest.
Works.
Yeah. And then you come back in the afternoon. Yeah, because that's only the morning. Then you come back in the afternoon. And you got to do your. Then you got to do your bag work. You do your bag work in the afternoon.
Bruv, I was on 3,000 sit-ups.
And then you do your agility. You know what I mean? Then you stretch again, and then in the evening you got to spar. And then you do that, and then they mix it all up with your strength and conditioning, your explosiveness throughout the course of the day. And each day is different parts of your body and different processes.
It's serious work.
And mate, when you see people on the pads, right? I'm talking like Matthew Macklin. They go maximum power on the pads, yeah, for 12 rounds, and you just think how, you just look and you think how, and I can punch, right, and I've got some stamina, right, and I can have it in the ring, and people that know me, who've been in the ring with me, know that I've got stamina. I'm not a pro elite boxer, but I can have it. And when you get in the ring with me, you know you've been in the ring with me, right? And I couldn't believe how fit you had to be right, world class, and then there's another level above world class of the elite. So when I think about people like Canelo and Golovkin, like and Floyd Mayweather, their cardio and their mindset and their agility is at a next level that the British boxing does not. They're aware of it, and there's only a couple of them that actually live it, breathe it, and sleep it.
But you got to know how to prepare somebody to get to that space in there.
No, you got to. I believe you got to prepare people how to maintain it.
Yeah.
How to maintain it, because I believe if you're drinking and partying and eating shit throughout the year, you're never going to maintain that elite level. To maintain that elite level,
you'll come to a time where that you'll frizzle out. You've seen it.
And the only way it don't fizzle out is if you're on my diet. So what I eat, sleep, breathe and shit every day is what you got to do as a boxer.
Right.
I'm just not boxing. But I have my alkaline every morning, all day and all night. I have my vegetables. I'm a vegan. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I eat fish and chicken maybe 4, 5, 6 times a year. Do you understand? Never no red meat, but I'm living it. I'm not a boxer, and that's why Marv looks handsome at 50 years of age after being stabbed 30 times and 20 odd times, shot and all sorts. You know what I mean? I don't look half bad. So this is only diet and exercise. This isn't any cosmetic stuff. Yeah, so I'm saying to you. And wait till when we do a workout next week, we'll show you the 16 pack. 16 obliques, all sorts, mate. It's sick. You know what I'm saying to you? Now, and that's what it is. It's
mindset, bro.
The level that they've got to get to in boxing,
it's crazy.
Is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I never realised it until Matthew Macklin prepared for, I think it was the Martinez fight and then the Golovkin fight. But I never realised, because I always wanted to spar him. And he said, no, Marv, I can't. I was like, why? I used to think, he's a wanker, he's fucking scared, he's scared. Because I'd spy anyone else. Yeah. But it weren't until I see him get ready for the Martina and you think, wow, he would hurt me.
He's being nice.
Right, because we think we're tough, right? We think we're tough. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd last a couple of rounds,
of course,
but then you're getting hurt.
Trust me.
You're getting hurt. There's no,
hurt.
And even my pal Daniel, I said, damn man, let me spy. He said, Marv, you'll get hurt. I think, I think you're a cunt. You don't want to upset him. And it ain't until you actually see like what they take and what. Mate, it's just. This is what I say to all the boxers that train with me. I don't want to be world champion, son. What are you telling me is too much?
Yeah.
How's it too much? You want to be world champion? How's it too much? Yeah. How the fuck is it too much? I don't want to be world champion and you can't even keep up with me. What do you mean you're tired, bruv? I'm 50, disabled. And you're telling me you're tired. Come on, and I'll make them do the rowing machine.
Exactly.
Yeah, 300 metres in less than a minute.
I'm working.
300 metres in less than a minute. And you know, I've got to get you down the gym. I've got to put you through your pace.
Do that.
Yeah. I'm seeing no eye contact with that.
I'll be finishing about 10. Maybe 9.
Do you know what? I'm gonna. Just going off the subject totally, right? Yeah. A good friend of mine died yesterday, Dave Sharma. So I want to say deepest sympathies to his family. No doubt. When he just found out yesterday, man. But he was 50 odd years of age. No, what's that? You look at him, you wouldn't think anything wrong with him. Looked healthy. Do you know what I'm saying? And bam, his body's broke down. There's something wrong with his heart, and he's dead now. And that was only a couple of days ago. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is why. I implore people, how much do I drive you mad about training? Yeah. Do you understand? Every time I see you, I'm like, have you been to the gym? Come on, man, get in the gym, because you don't realise you need it, otherwise you're going to end up messing your body up. So it's just...
Yeah, the levels, man.
So 2021, we're going to get you back to fighting fit, I reckon. Otherwise, you're not going to be the best version of you can be.
I'm telling you.
Right, I'm going to be on you. So we've got to train with Marv.
Yeah? In fact, New Year.
Right, you got it, Daz, yeah? No, you got it, yeah?
No
excuses.
Bruv, don't watch
no
me,
excuses,
bruv. You can mash me.
Publicly, yeah? Publicly now, yeah?
Mash me.
Publicly, yeah?
And build me up. Yeah. But don't expect much in the first month.
Listen. I work with people. I work with people's
build up slowly.
I work with people's strengths. What is it? I'll use you to get my... Because what I do, when I start working with people...
Bro, don't watch that.
Just I work with your fitness and we just increase your fitness.
Because all it is that I'm not putting in my hours training session that I'm used to putting in every day. I'm not doing that like I was before. What I do, I keep my body in shape.
Yeah.
So I know how to keep my core tight. Because enough, man, I will get up right now and put my fingers and hold my whole body weight out and put my legs out straight like a gymnast on the table right now. So you know that there's a level of fitness I'm talking about where I'm weak, where another guy, he thinks that's amazing.
Well, you've seen that.
But that's my level of weakness. Yeah. Do you understand me? So my level of weakness is different from another person's level of weakness. Because they'll be like, I can't do 50 press-ups, you can... do you know what I'm saying? It's a different levels.
You know elite fitness, don't you? So you know that.
We were that. Like, even now, like 50 press-ups now. 50 press-ups now is just what
I was doing 3,000 sit-ups, and that was at the beginning. So I'd come out my changing room, and Carly would call me over to the mats, 3,000 sit-ups. Now you go and start your work.
How many sit-ups do you do now then?
Now I'm not even doing sit-ups. I'm not even doing sit-ups now. When was the last time I done sit-ups? I ain't done sit-ups for time.
I love sit-ups.
What I do is other exercises that would help my core. Yeah, there's other exercises I'll do. I love it.
I'll get you in the new year, man. I'm coming.
Can't wait to get hold of me.
But on that topic, on the hard work topic, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people who are supremely talented in the gyms who didn't make it to the level because they didn't put the hard work in.
Mad talent.
One, I'm going to say Joe Selkirk. Like, that kid was unbelievable. Like, this kid, you know, when you're in the ring, I'm thinking, get tired, mate. Just hurry up and get tired. Just hurry up and get tired. Because I knew, he never really worked hard on his stamina. I used to push him and push him and push him and push him and push him. And I knew he wasn't as fit as he needed to be. And I used to do him all the time. But, mate, this kid, the punches he used to give me, mate.
I knew.
The combinations, mate.
Really?
Oh, God, mate.
There was this really good kid at Don Charles's gym. Spencer Oliver was kind of like doing stuff for them. He's like he had a really great story. His dad and him kind of grew up in the Welsh forests. That's where they actually lived. Like they ate different.
This mad, the incredibly gymnastic kid, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's insane. But I don't know what happened to him.
What happened to this guy? This guy was like, he's got all this backing. He's gonna be amazing. And I've seen it before. We had a guy in our camp.
He might have gone to America.
Bro, he ain't got no America, bruv. Trust me. He ain't been seen. I've seen them, man, before. They've got the world at their feet. And all of a sudden, the world just disappears and it turns into a little patch of the park at their feet and not the world anymore. Because it's about focus. It's about staying on your dream, staying on your drive, and not letting nothing stop you. That's the hard bit of this journey. It ain't talent. It ain't talent. We get it twisted. We get excited about talent, bruv. It's about the drive, the work.
I dreamt about my journey, right? From start to finish. I wanted that scar, right? And I'm not even joking, right?
Seriously,
I'm telling you. Do you remember Enter the Dragon?
Yeah.
Right, do you remember
I remember.
Who got the cut from the sister, right?
The power of the mind.
Right, now, watch this.
And look at him now.
From the age of 18, right? From the age of 8 years of age, I wanted to be a gangster. I wanted to be Cat Aid. I wanted to be on the landing. I wanted to walk around that yard. I wanted to get cut. I wanted to get hot watered in jail. I wanted to stab it like everything. Yeah. Everything. No, seriously, this is what I'm trying to explain to the kids.
Yeah.
Right, I actually wished for my life, from when I was a kid. I even wished to get stabbed. I wished to get shot. It was like things I said, do you know what? I want to get, do you know why I want to get shot? Because I can show me your fucking mug. This is how you get shot. This is how you get. Go on, stab me then. Go on, stab me. And this is what I'm saying about the power of wishing. That's crazy. People that know me, right? I actually, when people used to pull knives out of me, I said, go on then, you mug. Go on then, you mug. Go on. And I used to just attack them. But I weren't scared of them. I wanted you to stab me because when I got stabbed, it never hurt. So then I was like, what are they scared of? Go on then. Don't hurt you, mug. Boom, boom, boom. And then afterwards it hurts.
Of course.
At the time it doesn't hurt.
It's a mad healing process.
It's just nuts. And I actually wish for me going to prison, with me getting shot, me like everything. I wish for everything that ever happened to me. And that's why I tell kids now, be careful what you wish for.
Mind.
You will attract everything you want.
So I'll say something on a little silly little version compared to that. How the mind, this is about how the mind's messed up. I used to have this thing about me where I liked pain. I liked scars too. I liked scars too. So I used to put a plaster on my eye. And I used to think that was cool because you looked like you had a cut and whatever. So Marv's talking about that. So I'm bringing it. There's levels to this. Marv's like, oh, come on, they wanted to get stabbed. But I just wanted this little cut because I thought it looked hard. Guess what happened? I flip and go with a milk bottle to go and get my mum sent me to the shops. I'm coming back, I'm running, I trip over, smash, drop on the floor, milk bottle bangs me in the eye, cuts my eye, I get up, don't realise, next thing I feel something dripping down my face, I've got a cut, and I've always had the cut now.
You get everything you wish for, but not how you want it and not when you want it.
There you go.
Yeah, but it does come. Wow. I've got everything I wish for.
Wow.
I've got everything I wish for.
Without you even realising that you're wishing for it.
No, I knew I was wishing for it. I wanted everything.
Yeah, but there's still the other level where you don't realise you're even wishing for it.
I did.
No. Yeah, you did, Marv.
I did.
Yeah, you did. But what I'm trying to say, there's people listening to this that need to realise that their mouth, the power of life and death is in your tongue.
Yes,
you need to be careful what you're talking about, what you're saying about yourself, what you're talking about life, your experiences that you want to happen, what you're going to do, what that could never happen to me. All the shit you talk, you bring stuff into your life. This is powerful things that are really important that people listening need to understand because they're probably going to be able to see it in their own life. Some of the problems that they've created in their own life,
they'll see it.
They're going to be able to see it.
Right. If you look back at everything that's gone wrong with your life,
talking,
right, and you look at it retrospectively with real accountability, then you know that you've made mistakes. Like I know what other mistakes I've made.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? So it's because I can own what I've done rather than blame people.
There you go.
I don't blame my mum and dad.
There's the power.
My mum and dad have never put me through nothing.
There's the power.
I don't want to be like my dad, so fuck you, I'm going to do it the other way. I'm doing it this way.
That's right.
Me going down this road, I never realised my dad beating me and doing all what he'd done was because he saw badness in me. Now, I don't know whether your dad see badness in you, but I do know that I see badness in my kids. When I look at my kids and I think, wow, she's just like me. So I try to deal with my daughters in a different way than how I got dealt with. So I say to them, like, do you know what, you remind me so much of me when I was growing up as a kid. I feel really angry right now and I really want to hit you, I want to slap you, I want to break your stuff. I said, but I can't do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ignore you. But just know you give me the and I walk off. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I won't attack them. Like the other day I give my little daughter a little flick in the mouth because she got really bad. And I just like she attacked me, she kicked me,
really
she punched
pushes
me,
you and tests
she
you.
told me to fuck you. Like,
that's nuts.
But it's good that you're not doing what your dad did. You're changing the cycle.
That's what I'm saying. So it's that mimic behaviour that I won't allow to happen because I know the consequences.
And that's naturally we want to do that.
I know she loves me, and I know if I beat her, she's going to grow to resent me.
Exactly.
Right, so I'll just nurture her. I say, look, I don't want you to have these mistakes.
It's not the answer.
I don't want you to forgo for those mistakes, but if you want to go have these mistakes, then I'm going to be here at the end of the day to pick you up and say, I told you, baby. I told you. And that's going to hurt you even more.
Yeah.
So, me personally, I've learned from what I've been through, and I sort of.
But I suppose you're able to look at your life and the life you've led and see how that can still have an impact on her too.
No, that's what it does. That's what I'm trying to show her now. That's what I'm trying to show her now. That's what I'm trying to explain to her now.
No doubt.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where
because that's how we live in the past impacts them now. When you don't see it when they're little. Sorry, Marv. You don't see it when they're little. We do stuff and we think it's all right. Because they're little, you ain't gonna see it when they're little, bro. You see it as they start getting older, and their mind starts to be able to, create stories and a concept, and they begin to process what's happened to them, and that's when you start seeing it.
Right, you got to listen to me, right? Because what I'm saying to you, this isn't good for your development, young lady. She went, well, actually, Dad, how do you expect me to listen to you when you've done so much bad? Like, what is it I have to listen to?
Checkmate!
I was like, you little... I was like, well, what you've got to understand, young lady, is that you're actually reminding me of the man that I used to be when I was your age. So that means that you are heading in the wrong direction.
Can I back you up on that to say there's other people that are going through that, but there's another way to look at it. Because of what I've been through, actually gives me the credibility to speak to you about this, to be able to recognize it because I've been through this, because I lived it. Not because I've been through it, why I can't say nothing to you. It's the other way round.
But you know, like they say, the worst thing on the planet, is a snotty-nosed 13-year-old kid. Because you can't win. You can't win. Nah, they press your buttons and it's only your child.
Yeah, that could get away.
Outsiders, I can deal with any other person's 13-year-old kid. I can deal with them. Yeah. But my kids, like your own kids, like you're only dad to them, innit? So no matter how sensible or frightening you think you are,
they don't see that.
I'm just dad.
Just
silly dad. And dad gets bullied by mum. Do you know what I mean? The mum. Do you know what I mean? So you're the lose. Do you know what I mean? Because they see daddy getting mugged off by mum. And they have their fingers around mum like...
Don't matter about the story later.
Daddy's done that, mate.
That's the realness right there.
That's the realness right there.
That's the realness right there,
because we can't react how we used to behave, it just sort of adds sort of prevalent to what their mum says.
Yeah.
So the dad's the mug in the house. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just the mug. I just get told, like, do this, do that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But 13-year-old kids, man, they're just hard work. Really hard work.
Yeah, it's tough now.
So, going back to your boxing career, obviously it got cut short, unfortunately. You'd only had the one loss to Darius, and then at 30 years old, you had obviously a horrific knee injury. Yeah. And obviously this must have been horrific for you. You'd got onto a positive path. You're in the prime of your career. How did you get over that, Mark?
Finished me, bro. Can you imagine? I was training. We talked about the sessions that you got to get. I was training 4 times a day.
Structure.
Like there was structure and routine to my life. I do my running. I do a cardio and strength session in. I'd go to the gym. I'd go swimming. I'd do some whatever extra training sessions I could fit in. I'd do it. My last training session would end at probably about 8-9 o'clock in the evening. Okay, eat, relax, go to your bed, start again the next day.
Lucky when at MGM, mate. It was 10
Bro,
o'clock.
bro, mad. Next minute, I'm stuck. I've just bloody bought my house. I'm stuck at this house now. My legs up. Just I've got to keep it straight because I
So
can't.
what injuries did you sustain?
Every part of my knee, all the ligaments,
Cruciate ligament,
all of it.
posterior ligament.
The only thing that was saved was the ligament right at the back. They said that's the only one that's not as bad as the others. The others, this is one of the worst injuries that we've seen. It's like they explained it like this. They said your ligaments are like elastic bands.
Yeah.
Because your elastic bands can't hold anything. They're just floppy. So that's why when you try and stand up to piss, you just drop off to the side. You got to hold onto the wall because your knee, there's nothing holding your knee
Crazy,
together.
man.
So it will just slip out the joint. The mess.
Do you know what they say that, right? They say that, right? But I ain't got them either now, you know. I ain't had them since 2000. When was
What you had?
my cruciate ligaments, medial tendons, all of that?
What
my knee.
coming out? Have you?
Yeah,
you-
they've all snapped.
Yeah.
Mine snapped years
So,
ago.
so what happened? Is it staying together now?
No, it moves.
Okay.
Yeah, look. Look over the side. Watch.
Yep, I'm watching. Oh shit, that's
Do you
too
know what I
much
mean?
movement, bro.
See what I mean? Right, and I'm what I'm saying to you, like,
That's too much movement.
no, but,
Shit.
no, but you know when they say you can't do things, right?
Thank God for my knee.
No, but what I'm saying to you, they said his professional career was over.
Yeah, that's what they told me. Yeah.
But I believe it. It
Yeah,
won't.
bro, I wish I knew you before. I bought that, and it wasn't until 2010. I went to this, it was like a sort of Anthony Robbins type conference. It was Landmark Forum.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy's name. And, you know, you go to the front and then they start talking to you and breaking stuff down. You go, you know, what's come to the front next? So I got to the front, you know, what's your name? Boom, I started talking and he started asking me questions, you know, tell us about you. And I told him about my boxing and whatever. And then he hit me with, it was like a Babe Ruth home run. It was like bam in the head. So he goes, so why did you finish boxing? I said, because the consultant said that, you know, I can't fight. I'm a world-class fighter. You can't go 12 rounds with your knee like that.
Damn.
So he said, so why did you stop boxing? So I was thinking, I just told you, mate. So he said, why did you stop? So he didn't tell me. He just kept asking me the same, and then it hit me, bam, because I decided to listen to him. It was my choice, not his. And that was the story I've been telling myself for years, that he told me that I shouldn't fight, so I took that in. What decision did I have to make? I didn't have to listen to that. I could have made my own decision.
told
And
me
this
I
is
was
what
walking.
people
They
are
told me-
doing, Marv.
they told me I'm never
Your
walking
listeners are going to be listening
Right.
to this and saying, shit, I'm doing that. I'm not
Yeah,
making
watch.
up my own mind.
They said to me, I'll never, ever, ever be able to put 100% weight on this right leg.
See?
Watch 100%
Look
weight,
at
right?
that.
Right?
Look at that.
Never. They said, I'm never going to be able to bend it no more than 90 degrees.
Look at
right?
that, bruv.
Now, look, that's 90 degrees, right? They said, I'll never be able to bend it no more than that.
Yep, go on. Fucking
So
hell.
I can bend it.
Wow.
Right? Yeah?
I was told
So
the same
I'll
thing.
never be able to box. Well, I've got no cruciate ligament medial tendon in that leg, and I've got plates in this leg, and I had a professional boxing fight.
Rob, after that, I made a comeback. Bam, 2013 in the
Boom.
ring. 4 rounds. It was a 6-rounder. Beautiful.
And so how was it coming
Shape.
back at 44 though, Mark?
Woo! It was just so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Fulfilled.
I used to think about, for years, like, I thought about my career, how I didn't even realise what I was doing. I didn't even see myself as this person that was doing great things. It was like I was just on a journey without really looking back and reflecting what I'd accomplished. I was just getting on with it. All I could see was the prize at the end. I wasn't enjoying the journey. I wasn't enjoying the fans, the supporters, the people, the moments. It was all about the next fight, the next fight, the next fight, the next fight, and my kids. That was my real enjoyment, was my kids. Away from boxing, picking up my kids, being with my kids. But apart from my kids, it was just this one track mind, like a horse with blinkers on, just focus on that way. So when my career was over, I was able to think, what the frick? I just turned my life around from being homeless. It was like I started thinking about what I'd done and what I'd gone through. Remember, we ain't got social media. We ain't got all the PR stuff. Because that'd have been a PR's dream. You know, my background, look what they do with Asia, look what they do with all these, you know, Dylan and all these other guys. You know, they got stories, they got background, and now it's become a commodity where they can use that as well, you know, as a marketing tool. We didn't have none of that. We didn't have social media and all of that.
25 years younger,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
That comeback.
Bro, if I was a fighter now, woo! But a lot of these fighters are kind of like, they feel that they've made it, and they haven't made it.
Yep.
Because of social media.
They've only made it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because of all these
100%.
things. So they feel that they've got somewhere. Bro, you only get somewhere when you've got
Well,
somewhere.
that's the worst thing. People think they've made it before they have because they're the ones
I
that
think they
trip
made it
up.
because they've
don't
won
they?
10 fights.
Yeah, or because they've got in a nice car and they've got a sponsor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Or they've got a deal with somebody. Like, what did you come into this for? Did you come into it
Well,
to
they've
get
knocked
a
out the
deal?
first 3 fights they've had.
Yeah, exactly. Or did you come into this to be a champ? Focus on the aim and the goal. Don't get sidetracked by the money, the followers, all of that. Focus on the goal, bro. That's what's going to make you a champion. Real champions have blinkers on. They focus on the goal, bro.
the achievements.
And nothing else. Then all the other stuff,
Takes care of
followers,
itself.
you know, deals, all that. That's all the fancy
My
stuff
advice,
around
out there,
it.
my advice to all these youngsters there, especially the boxing ones, or the professional athletes, or the amateur athletes, just remember this: don't drink, don't smoke, don't sniff, don't eat red meat, and don't eat dairy products. And you're giving yourself an extra 50% chance of succeeding.
And if you want an extra 20%, leave the pussy alone, bruv. You'll be a super champion, greatest man on the planet. Leave the pussy alone. Get married. Stick to one bird. That's you. Ask all the fighters out there
I know,
that
mate.
was out there
Ask
banging.
all the men out there.
Nigel
No,
Benn,
listen,
there's
listen,
loads
listen,
of... Yeah.
Listen, look, all the villains, right?
Yeah.
All the villains, right?
Yeah.
So all the villains that I know, all the villains,
Pussy, bruv.
all the villains that I know that have had the worst life ever, the ones who are out cheating,
Yeah.
loads of birds everywhere,
Yeah.
that have the most headache.
Yeah.
Right, so the reason why I don't cheat is because I've seen it with my mum and dad
Seen
growing
it.
up, right?
Had to change myself.
I don't want that headache. I don't want that headache. Now, it's been said and it's been alleged that I've been cheating, but I'm a guy that does and says things and I stick to it. When I have a relationship with someone, we have an agreement.
Simple
In,
things.
over periods of time, the agreements change because of behaviour and conduct, then I get told I've changed and I haven't changed. You changed because we agreed to X, Y, Z. Now you're not doing that no more and I'm doing this. You're telling me I'm wrong. When if you were still doing what you're supposed to be doing, I wouldn't have to go and do what I'm doing. So it's just one of them things. I don't blame people.
We'll deal with that on another podcast.
Yeah.
I'll be the relationship counsellor on that one, bro.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's just life, isn't it?
It is.
Right, if
And it's
you-
about growing and
right.
learning, bruv.
If you tell someone you're a dog, yeah,
Yeah.
all you do is meow,
Yeah.
then they don't have to stay with you.
That's right.
You told them you're a dog, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you tell me you're something and then you turn out to be something else, why have I got to stay with you?
Well, it's neither either or.
Yeah.
There's always another way.
There's always another
There's
way.
always another way. And I love exploring the other way. And that was my trouble. Before, it was about, piss off, I'm gone. You're taking the piss, I'm off. And what you leave behind is just broken relationships and kids that aren't in that network and family surrounding that they need to help them develop the kind of personalities and character that they need without all these emotional issues to be dealing with when they're growing up.
Maybe
But
that's
I
what
had
I've
to
got to
learn
learn.
that along the route.
That's what I'm like, well, I think I've got to learn now then.
Do you know what I'm saying? I had to learn that along the route. But I had one way of being, and it wasn't the way to do it. I had to learn another way. And the way I got now, you could ask my missus if she thinks that way works, or if she's seen growth in me since she's met me from 2012. Come over here, love. Come over here, quick one. Come over here now, serious, babe. Seriously, come over here. Come over here.
Yay! Well done.
Why are you like this?
Okay, so this
That
is
was
my
really-
beautiful wife.
That's it.
And
that's,
and I've got the opportunity now to do the things right that I'd never done before.
That's true.
And without trying to use the same tactics and the same mindset. I'm really seeking for the joy and the peace and the love that I always desired in a relationship, and realize it's not them. It's what I do. We just want to be right in a relationship. So we fight each other about being right. Yeah, you're wrong. Look at the way if you didn't do this, I wouldn't be doing this. But it's bollocks. It's me needing to be able to look at how can I, help and understand you better. How can you understand me better? And the only way is by listening and hearing what it is that I really want from this and what you want from this. And then we can talk about what's really going on inside our heads. Because we don't talk about the hidden stuff, what's going on inside those thoughts that we have. How do we come about with those thoughts? And what do you want after this? So you're thinking like this. So what's your aim, babe? What do you want? How do you want this to work out? Do you want us to argue and then you want to be right? Is that going to make you happy? Or would you feel better? That's actually really good. She's been a real woman there, yeah? So, but at the end of the day, after we've said and joked around and fought, we have a conversation. Because we don't always get it right. But what it is, we know how to get it right. So we go back to working on doing the right thing. And doing the right thing is me listening to my missus. Because she says stuff about me that I disagree with. Yeah. That's bullshit, mate. And then I sit down and think, but wait, let me ask her, remember I said questions? Let me ask her the right questions. How does this make you feel? When did you start feeling like this? Okay, what do you think? What's the solution? How can we get around this? And that type of conversation creates a complete different forum, a complete different platform where she starts speaking from her heart now, instead of just being emotional and just getting it all out. Yeah. Now we're both on a level, getting our real feelings out, and she's able to find out shit that's wrong with me. And because she's answering me the right questions, I'm able to get out the real mess and see, wait a minute, I get what you're trying to say now. Yeah. And it's because I have this thinking and I've realized where it's come from, now I can change it. And it's all about our patterns. It's all about the cycles, and we don't realize how many cycles we actually have and how many patterns we have, and it all comes from the story we tell ourselves and how we think. So I've been able to reframe my stories, change the way I've been thinking, so I can be able to hear what Daz is saying to me, and then we grow. And that's when we feel like we're growing.
Yay!
Isn't it, babe? Yeah. And we've grown together. It's beautiful.
Awesome. I'm going to take 10 pieces of that.
It's beautiful.
And, I've been too conflictuous rather than working with my partner.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Just trying to be the one who's winning and the one who's right, rather than trying to actually make things better. And it's what's the reward for being right? That you're out at the pub with your mates having a drink when you'd rather be snuggling up with your missus and giving her one. No, mate, I want to be with my missus. I love being with her. I don't want to be on my own in my car. I don't really want to. Going for a drive is nice though. I like, sometimes we have a little beef. I go in my car for a drive. I put on my recorder and I get it all out. I talk to God. I start talking. What's that? Look, you're going to have to talk to her, God, because she just don't get it. She's not listening to me. So you have a word. But then he starts talking to me and he says, well, why don't you think about how you're thinking? And how did you get there? And then he focuses me on me. And then I realize, okay. So there's been times I've gone back and said, babe, I get it. I get what you're trying to say, and I can see certain things with me, and then I said, how does that make you feel? How do you feel about that? Why did you start saying that? What was the thoughts that you had before you came out with that? And that's what starts us really starting to get connected now instead of knocking heads. We get connected because she's opening up about the stuff I didn't know about before. Where did it come from? And that's really powerful in a relationship. And that's transformed my life. I'm not saying that I don't argue. I'm not saying we don't have beef. What I'm saying is it works out differently than it used to. Yeah, it used to always end up where I'm gone. Because I don't muck around, bro. Yeah, I'm not taking no shit. And I want peace. So if you're going to bring me some shit, I'm gone.
So that's what I'm like.
I'm like, I don't need no woman. I'm gone.
That's it. That's what I'm like.
But then I keep it real and think, nah, man. But how's that helping me? How can I go on to another relationship? I'm going to have the same problems and I'm going to keep having the same solution, which is to wag the finger at you.
Yeah.
Because you're saying this about me, but really, I haven't changed.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed about me. So that means I'm not doing myself the greatest service that a man can do and a woman can do for themselves is to reevaluate the way they're thinking. And there's always growth areas in that. And I love growth. People don't like change because growth means change. We don't like change. Here's me. This is what I'm like. This is who I am. That's why them Tottenham man and all them man that's doing their badness, their significance is in their badness, what they're doing. Who am I going to be then if I'm not this bad boy? Who am I going to be if I'm not Lambie, the devil guy that's, everyone, the youngers looking up to me? Who am I? They're scared because they've held on to this, who they are and, the way they are and their significance. And because everyone's got these human needs.
So powerful, Mark. That was.
Yeah.
It was so powerful. So talking about strength and stuff like this is obviously a difficult subject. Obviously, the worst day of your life in 2006.
So you ain't no better than me and I'm not no better than you, Marv. That's why I can deal with the kids. That's why I can come and talk to you and that's why I showed you so much love, Marv.